Doing. Uh, Sorry, not an announced live, but some breaking news is going on, and I figured the best way for me to get it to you is just to go live right now because I got some stuff that will prohibit me editing going on. And this is a ginormous gun control package that is being pushed in the House, and it will get a markup in the House Judiciary Committee this Thursday, June 2nd. I will do my best. I think I'm going to hold this live. I'll cover it live. Let me know down below if you want to watch this thing live Thursday. Um, there are up to 8 different gun control bills that will be heard for markup. I don't expect any one of these to be held up. I think it'll make it to the House for a full vote. I think they'll sail through the House. The question is going to be the Senate. Just some of the bills or some of the subjects that we brought up. I don't have all of the bills yet. I know what they're going to talk about though, and I will go over one bill that is a new bill that is kind of rough. There's a lot of stuff in it. So one of the things they're going to be going over is bans on high capacity magazines. That's back. Bans on ghost guns. They want to expand the NFA. They want to add safe storage laws. There is a strong possibility that they will sneak in a rushed version of a new assault weapon ban. And this bill that I'm going to put up on the screen, I'm going to go over it with you. There's a lot of stuff in it, so I'm going to jump through the bill. But this is no bueno. Let's see if I can share this screen without screwing this up. It's been a while since I've used this. So give me a moment here. Share screen. And then I'm going to share this one. All right, here we go. I'll minimize my dome so you don't have to look at me. And I will increase the size of this on your screen so it's easier for you to read. Okay. So this is not good. The bill is being called Protecting Our Kids Act, the Protecting Our Kids Act. So you know it's going to be filled with all kinds of shenanigans. The first thing here, anytime a bill, guys and gals, anytime a bill has its own table of contents, you know it is just stuffed full of bullshit, and there's a ton of stuff in there. Our bills should be one subject, one bill, one vote, but that's not how they get stuff done. This is full of bad stuff. Title 1, and we'll go over each section briefly. I'm not going to make this a long video. Title 1, raise the age. Basically, any center fire semi-automatic rifle or shotgun, they would change the age from 18 to 21 in order to purchase those. Same with the ammunition. You must be age 21 if it's a center fire ammunition for a rifle or a shotgun. That's not good, obviously. There's no need to change. And there's an exemption, of course, if you're in the armed forces. So you can go do their bidding and take land and oil and while you're there, leave all of your equipment for them, the Taliban and stuff, give them all of your equipment. But if you're here in the States, no good for you. And then there's a section on operation of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's public access line. We'll see what that's about. The second section is about preventing gun trafficking. This is how stupid these politicians are. Look at the first one. Prohibition on straw purchases of firearms. That's already illegal. Prohibition on gun trafficking. That's already illegal, but we're going to make another bill of it. And when they do that, there's usually something added. So we'll take a peek at that real quick. Prohibition on disposition of firearm to person intending unlawful further disposition. That's a straw purchase. Why would they have it in 2 sections? 3, penalties for and firearms subject to forfeiture. Title 3, untraceable firearms. This is your self-made firearms, something that's been legal since before this country was even founded. And it's only become a problem because they just don't like it. And they have 2 things on here. The requirement that all firearms be traceable. That means it would have to be serialized. They're going to force that issue here, which would probably, we're going to look at it real quick, it would probably bring a ban to homemade firearms, knowing Congress, and modernization of the prohibition on undetectable firearms. They want to ban ghost guns. Title 6 is going to be safe storage. They want it so bad, there's going to be 3 sections on it. The first one is Ethan's Law. The second one is the Safe Guns, Safe Kids Act. And the third one is the Kimberly Vaughn Firearms Safe Storage Act. And then they want to close the bump stock loophole. Like, is there a bump stock loophole? Is there a friggin' bump stock loophole? It was just administratively signed, like just eliminated by Donald Trump and his cronies, but they want to close the loophole. What does that mean? They want to make a federal law banning them. That's what it means. So that all of the lawsuits currently pending, the one the GOA and Military Arms Channel have, that would, if this were to go through, that would make that lawsuit moot. And then the Keeping Americans Safe section of this, there's some definitions and some restrictions on large capacity ammunition feeding devices. And there'll be penalties if you happen to have them. And then the use of burn grants for buyback programs for large capacity ammunition feeding devices. They want to buy back magazines that they did not sell to you, but they want to buy them back. This looks like Justin Trudeau helped them sign this. Real quick, I'm going to rip through this real quick. If you want to stick around, if not, I'll have the link to the bill down below. But we're going to go over this together. So under the raising the age, this is easy. I already read this part. They're gonna just, if you're 18, they want to take away your right to self-defense. And this section was odd here. This section B. Any semi-automatic centerfire rifle or semi-automatic centerfire shotgun that has the capacity to accept an ammunition feeding device with the capacity exceeding 5 rounds to any individual the licensee knows is a reasonable cause to believe is not 21. You can't even get like a 5-round shotgun, 6 rounds because it exceeds 5. What happened when Biden said just go buy a shotgun? Like he doesn't want you to buy a shotgun now. This is awesome, guys and gals. We're standing in that gap. We are refusing to live in this freaking world they want to create. We'll go down to the next section. Like I said, I'm just ripped through these quick. For the under 21, if you're an armed forces member on active duty and they want to send you to go do stuff, that's okay. Or if you're full-time employee of the U.S. or political subdivision of a state, that's your law enforcement and armed security, I guess, because official duties is authorized. And then it tells what an ammunition feeding device is. They usually squeeze stuff in this, so we're going to go over this one. Term ammunition feeding device is any magazine, belt, drum, feed strip, or similar device. Not include an attached tubular device, 22. They always do that. So this is, these are all magazines in their world. A drum is a magazine. A belt is a magazine. A feed strip is a magazine. Anything similar is a magazine, which doesn't even meet the definition of magazine. But we're going to create a new one. The public access line for the FBI, I'll go over that. It's probably nothing other than they want somebody to take up complaints. Gun trafficking. We're going to make it illegal for straw purchases, but I told you it's in here multiple times and it's already a law. That's a reason. Let's just take a quick peek. 37, the term, blah, 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 blah. They're going to tell us what a family member means. And they're going to add to the end of the following: gun trafficking. It shall be illegal for any person other than the licensee under this chapter in or otherwise affecting interstate or foreign commerce to knowingly purchase, acquire, or attempt to purchase or acquire a firearm for the possession of a third party. That's illegal already. It shall be unlawful for any person other than the licensee of this chapter in or otherwise affecting interstate or foreign commerce to hire, solicit, command, induce, or otherwise endeavor to persuade another person to purchase. That's already illegal. These people don't even know what laws are on the books. And then the Attorney General shall be the badass. And then they can forfeit the firearms. And then there's a money laundering amendment. Okay, who cares about that? Prohibition on dispossession of firearm to person intending unlawful further disposition. That's all illegal already. Firearms subject to forfeiture on that. We got it. Untraceable firearms. Let's go over this. This is the ghost guns part. Definitions. 921A, Title 18 USC is amended by this act and further amended in paragraph 1 by adding at the end of the following. The term manufacturing firearms shall include assembling a functional firearm or molding, machining, or 3D printing a frame or receiver, and shall not include making or fitting special barrels, stocks, or trigger mechanisms to the firearms. And so 3D printing, they want to ban that. Good. How are you going to enforce that one? Some people's children. And then we're going to redefine ghost gun here, I guess. Ghost gun for this bill means a firearm including a frame or receiver that lacks a unique serial number engraved or cast on the frame or receiver by a licensed manufacturer or importer in accordance with this chapter. That would mean you cannot put your own serial number on like you can in many states that require personal made firearms to be serialized. So that would remove that. So if it wasn't sold serialized, or you brought it to a gunsmith or a manufacturer or an importer, not even a gunsmith now, that would have to be serialized. Does not include a firearm that has been rendered permanently inoperable or a firearm that is not later than 30 months after the date of the enactment of this paragraph has been identified by means of a unique serial number. So they give you a little grace period. Excuse me, my phone is blowing up. That means there's more stuff coming down the line that I got to check on. So let's speed this up. Guys, it's going crazy. If you want to stay in the know, subscribe to the channel. I want to hit my goal of 500,000 subscribers this year. We're getting close. I think it's at 483,000, and you can help me get there. If you're not subscribed, please do it. And if you are subscribed, you think you are, please double check because YouTube's doing the purge again. They do like every month or so. Goes over what a manufacturer is. We can rip through this later. There's a lot of stuff in there, which means there's going to be a lot of bull, a lot of malarkey. Modernization of the prohibition on undetectable firearms. All right. An undetectable firearm. So here's by striking any major component of which, when subjected to inspection by types of X-ray machines commonly used at airports, does not generate, and inserting the following: a major component of a firearm which, if subjected to inspection by the types of detection devices commonly used at airports for security screening, would not generate. So it doesn't have to be detectable by an X-ray now. It has to be detectable by other technology that they use. Major component means slide or cylinder or frame or receiver of the firearm, and in the case of a rifle or shotgun, includes the barrel of the firearm. And blah, 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 blah. Detectable material means any material that creates a magnetic field equivalent to more than 3.7 ounces of 17.4 pH stainless steel. They're nitpicking now. Safe storage. Let's go over this because there's three parts of it. Secure gun storage owners. It would be an offense, except as provided in clause, unlawful for any person to store or keep any firearm that has moved in or that has otherwise affected interstate or foreign commerce on the premises of a residence under the control of the person, if the person knows or reasonably knows that a minor is likely to gain access to the firearm without a permission of the parent or guardian of the minor, or a resident of the residence is ineligible to possess a firearm under federal, state, or local law, except if the person keeps the firearm secure using a gun storage or safety device, or in a location where the reasonable person would believe to be secure, carries a firearm on his or her person, or within such close proximity thereto that the person can readily retrieve and use the firearm as if the person carried the firearm on his or her person. And this would be a $500 fine per violation. And you would forfeit the improperly stored firearm. How's that? Is that some shit right there? Like they think that they own him, that you're just going to forfeit it. These are like the after the fact laws. Say somebody in your house has a medical. They come in, the police come in, they see a gun that isn't in a safe or have a trigger lock or a cable lock on it, or is either on you or immediately within your vicinity. And when they, just so people were questioning, when they write things like this, it usually means your wingspan. So if it's not within your wingspan, then they're going to say that you didn't secure it properly, and they're going to take it from you. And that's if there's a minor in the house who might have access to it, or a person in the house who isn't able to own firearms. So it's kids and all kinds of stuff wrapped up in there. The safe storage program, the Attorney General, blah 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 blah. This looks like they're gonna. Oh, there you go. Use of funds. So they're gonna bribe states with money. That's how they're gonna get it in. Yep. Grants and applications. So they're gonna give grants to states and tribes to get it in. And then under the Safe Guns, Safe Kids section, there'll be an enhanced penalty if a person violates subparagraph A and a minor or resident who is ineligible to possess a firearm under federal, state, or local law obtains the firearm and causes injury or death to such minor or resident or any other individual. So if somebody gets a hold of a gun that shouldn't and hurts or kills somebody, the person shall be fined under this title and imprisoned for not more than 5 years or both. So there's a $500 fine already. They get to take your guns. And now if somebody's hurt, you're going to go to jail and get sued for all of that too. So if somebody gets your gun, they do bad things with it, you're responsible. This would be effective no later than 180 days after the enactment of this act. Again, we'll have to wait and see if it goes through, but I just want to get this through, guys. They're rushing this through to be voted on in the Judiciary Committee for Thursday. And when they're rushing things through this big, this many things, it's bad. Here's a good one. Promotion of safe firearm storage. Beginning on January 1st of 2025, licensed manufacturers and licensed importers that serialize not less than 250 firearms annually pursuant to subsection I shall provide a clear and conspicuous written notice with each manufactured or imported handgun, rifle, or shotgun that one is attached or adhered to or appears on or within any package of each handgun, rifle, or shotgun, and states safe storage saves lives. Propaganda. That's just propaganda. Kim Vaughn Safe Firearm Storage Grant Program. That's how they're going to bribe states and tribes. Okay. Grantee report. Sorry for the scrolling is messing with your eyes. I apologize, but we're going through this. Literally just hit my desk. I figured I'd put it on live. And in order to get this safe storage stuff in and bribe every state and tribe to do this, there's an authorized appropriation to the Attorney General to carry this section of $10 million for each of the fiscal years 23 through 33 to remain available until expended. So they're going to have $10 million each year to pay off states to force them to get this in if they don't have it already. Interesting. Here's the disbursement. Not less than 75% of the funds received by a grantee shall be used to create or to provide resources for safe firearm storage assistance programs in the jurisdiction, and not more than 25% of the funds received by the grantee may be made available to nonprofit organizations to partner with units of local government to purchase and distribute safe firearm storage devices. So if your state, like my state, they do that. You can get a free gun lock. It's at usually police departments. You can call and have one sent to you. That's that program there. Safe firearm storage credit. For purposes of Section 38, the safe firearm storage credit determined under this section for the taxable year is an amount equal to 10% of amounts received from the first retail sale of a firearm storage device. So you get 10% off a lock when you buy. You can write off 10% of the lock. Ooh. Can't say they didn't throw the taxpayers a bone, I guess. Clerical stuff. Closing the bump stock loophole. All right. Section 5845 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 is amended in subsection A by striking and a destructive device and inserting a destructive device and a bump stock. So they're going to ban bump stocks. The term bump stock means any of the following. You got to check these because it could be bullshit. Any manual, power-driven, or electronic device that is designed such that when the device is attached to a semi-automatic weapon, the device eliminates the need of the operator of the semi-automatic weapon to make a separate movement for each individual function of the trigger. That's not even required under the laws. It has nothing to do with a separate movement for each individual function of the trigger. What determines if it's a machine gun or not is if the gun keeps firing with a single function of the trigger. Has nothing to do with movements. So they're sliding something in here. Good thing we read that. They're sliding that in. Now they're making how many movements you do in order to make the gun fire. That's not even. That's against the law. But I guess not. What do they give a shit, right? What is belt loop there? Like on my, does that count for my belt, my pants, or string or rubber band? Excuse me. Anything that materially increases the rate of fire for a semi-automatic weapon or approximates the action or rate of a fire of a machine gun. Any part or combination of parts that is designed and functions to eliminate the need for operator of a semi-automatic weapon to make a separate movement for each individual function of the trigger. That could be your FRTs. And materially increases the rate of fire for semi-automatic weapon or approximates the action or rate of fire of a machine gun. And any semi-automatic weapon that has been modified in any way that eliminates the need for the operator of the semi-automatic weapon to make a separate movement for each individual function of the trigger, and materially increases the rate of fire of a semi-automatic weapon, approximates the action or rate of fire of a machine gun. There you go. There's your triggers. So I guess triggers will be called bump stocks under this law. It'll be considered that because it eliminates the multiple moves of you in their eyes, even though FRTs don't. Because if you follow an FRT and what it does, 2AEDU, thank you, brother. I'm sorry, I haven't even looked at the chat, guys. It just caught my eye. It goes over what a semi-automatic weapon is. Well, all right, NFA stuff, looks like. No, yep, right here. Okay. The term bump stock has a meaning given such term in Section 5845N of the National Firearms Act, 26 U.S.C. 5845N. They're going to amend it in each section, inserting bump stock before machine gun. So you're going to put it in the NFA. So would that mean these triggers would have to be NFA items? Yes, that's what that means. Keeping Americans safe. Definition as magazine again for large capacity ammunition feeding device. Doesn't include tubes of 22. Restrictions on large capacity ammunition feeding devices shall be unlawful for a person to import, sell, manufacture, transfer, or possess in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce a large capacity ammunition feeding device. Shall not apply to the possession of any large capacity ammunition feeding device otherwise lawfully possessed on or before the date of enactment. So there's a grandfather. Shall not apply to anybody working for the state or the department or an agency or political subdivision of a state. So that's your law enforcement exemption that they have in all their laws, whether on or off duty. The importation for, a sale, or transfer to a licensee under Title I of the Atomic Energy Act. So that's, I guess, so they can get them at plants, maybe, because they do private security there. Possession of by an individual who is retired in good standing. So that's, nothing's changing on any of that stuff. College cops are on there. Identification markings for large capacity ammunition feeding devices is amended by adding the following. A large capacity ammunition feeding device manufactured after the date of enactment of this sentence shall be identified by a serial number. That's how they can track them. And a date on which the device was manufactured or made. Legibly and conspicuously engraved or cast on the device, and such other identification as Attorney General shall by regulations prescribe. So if this goes through, any magazine made after that date would have to be serialized, and they would have to have the date on there. If you remember, anybody's old enough here to remember the previous assault weapon ban that Bill Clinton put in, the magazines that came out then that were standard capacity, a lot of them said for government or law enforcement use, or it's been a while since I've held one, but yeah, government and law enforcement, or military and law enforcement use. So they want to do something similar like that. But the problem is that you can't trace them, can't track them because they weren't serialized. Well, now they want to have magazines serialized. Yeah, that ain't going to work. All right. Grants. And that's that. So that is the end of that bill. That's definitely getting voted on too. Thursday, June 2nd. So a huge omnibus package of gun control will be in the House Judiciary Committee. Let me see. I got to check the daddy schedule now. Now that I'm back home. The second. I should be able to cover it live, guys and gals. So I will set it up, and please check back, especially to watch that at the Judiciary Committee. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff said on there that's going to make our heads spin, but we have to stay in the know. That's the only way we defeat this stuff, and it's time to start. If you are a person who likes to reach out, call your senators, call your representatives, and tell them no new gun control. If you're not, you're not. So be it. But it's time to start the attack. We got to go on the offensive. We can't always be on the defensive here. So we know what they're doing, and now it's time to stop it. If you could, please like the video and share it so more people see it. I don't even know how many. We got about 5,800 people watching. So smash those thumbs up, guys and gals. Get this stuff out. People need to know. I think, hey, Smash Time, thanks, buddy. For those who I missed any chats, whether questions, comments, super chats, stickers, whatever, I apologize. I was singularly focused on getting this to you. And I want to thank the USCCA for sponsoring this live video. If you haven't already, check them out, uscca.com/GNG down below. They get you ready for what happens before, during, and after an act of self-defense, guys and gals. And for those who have asked the question, if you found guilty, do you have to pay it back? The way any insurance, self-defense insurance is written, that if you are found to be the aggressor and it's not self-defense, then you would be not insurable because it's not self-defense. So I did check on them to get the answer. So if you are in the right, don't plead out. Fire, I guess, is the best way to say it. And that's on all of them, because it's illegal to insure a crime, is what I was told. All right, guys. To each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. That's what it's for. Don't ever forget it. For those who are new gun owners, please don't ever forget it. Now that you know why you carry, you took your security, your safety so serious that you had to arm yourself. Fight these gun controllers with us. If you're new to guns, we need you. We need your voice, because together we are unstoppable. That's the problem, is we're very fractured, this group of gun owners. There's all kinds of people all over the map on what kind of guns are cool, what kind of ammo is cool, whether they're shotgunners or cowboys. We all need to pull together, guys and gals. It's time. Until we see each other again, guys. Deuces. And yeah, please share this. Frustrating. Take care.